As many people know, Latin America and the Caribbean have been experiencing unprecedented economic and social crises for years. This situation has generated a large influx of migrants and refugees. Venezuela alone has created more than 7.1 million migrants. An estimated 5.9 million are currently in the region. Less than half hold resident permits or have been granted regular status. In addition, in recent years, close to 2 million people have fled worsening poverty and unrest in the so-called Northern Triangle countries, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. In 2022, more than 240,000 people crossed the Darien Gap in Panama, the most dangerous migration hotspot in the region, with a high prevalence of gender-based and sexual violence. But many people don't know that between 30 and 40,000 people on the move in the region are also people living with HIV. High levels of HIV-related stigma and limited access to health services lead to insufficient engagement with HIV prevention and treatment among migrants. In addition, the possibility of deportation can lead to avoidance of accessing services. Migrants should be priority populations for HIV prevention because migration can place them in a heightened vulnerability to HIV. As a result of food insecurity, displacement, and disruption of support networks and livelihoods, migrants may resort to coping mechanisms to secure food and shelter. Barriers to accessing health services, including education for prevention, are often determined by their regularization status and expose the migrant to a context of greater vulnerability to HIV. Women in their diversity, including trans women, as well as gay men and unaccompanied minors, may suffer increased sexual violence and be subject to trafficking, exploitation in the labor market, and abuse of power that can manifest in violence and sexual assaults. Studies show that on average, 27% of migrants seeking HIV treatment services arrive with late-stage HIV, and only around 30% know their HIV status, way below the average of 82% in Latin America and 84% in the Caribbean. In addition, HIV prevalence in migrants can be up to 3 times higher than the general prevalence in the host country. People with an irregular migration status had 70% lower odds of HIV viral suppression than people with a regular migration status. In summary, the difficult conditions associated with migration can increase the risk of HIV infection and lead to unfavorable clinical outcomes. It is, therefore, crucial to understand the different HIV vulnerabilities of migrant populations to provide them with specific and tailored prevention and treatment services. Together, we can ensure that all people, regardless of their immigration status, have access to the health care they need.